All right, welcome to video number 2 for Encanto. It's kind of like a watch along, and I'm commenting on different things that I love about it and bringing out any mental health themes that I want to highlight. My name is Veronica, and I am excited to create this channel to be able to talk about all things mental health. And right now, what is so loud on my mind is Encanto, and I want to talk about it like all the time. And instead of talking about it to all the people all the time, I'm going to make videos. So here we are. And so this is video number 2. We are at Antonio's door ceremony. And so if you haven't watched video number 1, hop on back, take a watch, and join us for video number 2. So here we are with the families coming in and the town coming in. And you have Camilo that's doing his fun shape-shifting. And this house is so gorgeous. And the decorations, so gorgeous. So this is the second time we're seeing him. And every single time, not only is he with his mother, which is one thing, but like his mother's touching him. And I'm just like, this woman is going to have a hard time letting go whenever he decides to be with somebody else, because this is a very, very, very close relationship. And some would say it is an enmeshed relationship, which is where like two people don't have their own separate identities. They have like one identity. And so this mama gives me vibes of enmeshment. And then in the end, spoiler alert, when we hear Dolores talk about you write, I think it's poems to your mom, like every night. And I'm like, okay, so it's a two-way thing. Like it's not just her, it's, yeah. And so, I mean, she raised him, and we don't see like a father figure, or we don't really see them with anybody or any siblings. And so I get this vibe that like maybe it's just them two, and they have created like this enmeshed bond together. So I don't know if you know anybody in your life that you've seen that with. It can be hard to engage anybody else in that kind of relationship, because yeah, they're so closely connected that for them to separate and for him to connect with somebody else, even if it's like separate like this, is going to feel very painful for probably both of them, and it's going to be messy. So later on in the movie, I'm like, ooh, when he is like, let's get married, and she's like, slow down, I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because the enmeshment thing gives me vibes that he would not be ready to get married. He's fine with his mom. But I love how Casita plays with the kids. It's like, nope, you are not going upstairs. Casita, if you think of Casita as a character. And another thing about this that I noticed, that Abuela's wearing her like grieving shawl. And in trauma, this is what happens when you have a traumatic experience and something triggers it. You can have flashbacks. Physiologically, your body feels like you're going right back to when the trauma happened. And so here we see her flashing back to when she was, obviously it's like a way to tell the story, but we see her having a flashback, it would seem, to what happened. So this concept of waiting, if you've read Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go, there's this whole thing about the waiting room, and where people just waiting, and it's like waiting for the rain to come or the bus to go or the plane to thing or the snow to snow. It's like waiting around for a yes or a no. There's all these like just waiting. And in that book it goes basically like, no, you'll break out of that. You're go do fun things. You'll go do other things instead of just waiting. And this reminds me of like, and she says, stay at the door, like I'm still at that door. It takes me back to like Anna and Elsa, the door. There's like this door analogy of like just waiting at the door, wanting at the door, not getting what you want at this door. And I just, gosh, how many times in your life have you been like waiting at a door, whether it's like for, gosh, it could be anything from school stuff to relational to just purpose things, like just waiting for something, and you feel like your life kind of goes on pause. And that is such an intentional like choice to say, I'm not gonna just wait, because if it's something important, it can really like take over your life. And it's an important choice to say, like, intentionally, I am not gonna just sit here and wait. I'm going to live my life in the midst of waiting. And that might seem like a bit of a semantics, but there can be a big difference between living in the waiting and just waiting. And I feel like this kind of shows that there is a big part of Mirabel that is just waiting. You know, stuck in my room. It's so weird because there's this contrast of like this part of her, and then there's the part that seems like there's a, you know, or at least she portrays this. I've moved on. Like my family is special, and so am I. We heard that in the beginning. Like my family is special, and I'm part of my family, so that makes me special. But it's like only in her head, not in her heart. And this is like her heart coming out, sharing what she really feels, and her desiring so much more than she has, which we get to see that she has what she needs. Oh, this open your eyes. Okay. So the open your eyes thing is so meaningful because at the very, very beginning of the movie is abre los ojos, open your eyes. And at the end, or abre tus ojos, I don't remember. And then at the very end of the movie, it's like the same. And so I think having this here, I mean, we're still only like a quarter way through the movie, and she's like begging her, like, open your eyes and see me, because they don't see Mirabel for who she is. They see this person, you know, this caricature of this person who's just kind of there, but nobody knows why. Like, they kind of treated her like she was in the way. She's trying to help so much, and she's so eager to help, but it's like she's almost gets like, they feel like she's in the way, and they don't see her as a useful member, except for her parents. Like her parents, you can tell, love her, and except for just for who she is. But everybody else kind of gives. And Luisa, we don't get any negative vibes. Well, really, it's just Abuela and Isabela, which is like Abuela's right-hand girl. So they give some serious negative vibes. This part reminds me of Frozen 2, where Elsa's like doing all this. And I love this part because I would move the mountains, make new trees and flowers grow. Like right now, she is telling us what she's going to do at the end of the movie. And I love that because it's like foreshadowing. I would heal what's broken. Yes, you did, girl. You will. Show the family something new. Yes. They did such an amazing job casting this movie. The singers are just, I love this part. I don't think they did enough for her to grieve. Like, I think that would have been so painful for her because she's so connected to Casita. Oh, the music. I love the dancing. Like, get family together and there's music and there's dancing. Like Felix even brings out the dancing in Abuela, which is so awesome. The moves. But this, like the panic that I think she would actually feel, I think that's such a good capturing. And then like later, I just wish they would have showed her grieving the house more. Like when they were at the river, I wish they would have had her like grieve Casita. At the very, very end, when Casita comes back alive, I wish they would have had her like, you know, she kind of was like, hola Casita. And I'm like, no, I wanted her to like, you're back. My best friend's back. Oh, you could tell in that when she told Abuela, like, there's something wrong. She like looked around like, why'd you say it here though? So like on one hand, like the mom is so affirming of her, of who she is. She's perfect just the way she is, like all that. But then you have this other side where it's like, you can tell there's a barrier between hearing her and connecting her and believing her. She wants to support her, but then the fear kicks in of like, look, my brother lost his way and I don't, you know, they're scared. And she's scared that the same thing's going to happen to her. And so it's almost like keeping it like, we're just not going to go here. And I think this scene really sets up the opportunity for later when Abuela does apologize and Abuela does like come clean and own her stuff and her destructive patterns, because she's already like humble. She's already like, in this way, she's humble. She's asking for answers. She's asking for help. And so I think that was the needed setup for what happened later. She's not just going about her life thinking, oh, there's nothing wrong. I don't care. I don't need anybody. There is a side of her that is looking for help and answers. She just doesn't know. Just like right here. How do I see my miracle? Like nobody knows. I mean, how is that not considered a superpower? The fact that she can literally talk to a house. Because nobody else does. If this is Camilo's seconds, that's a lot of food. Have you guys seen, I'll try to link to it, but Nikki Marie, oh gosh, I'm sorry if I said it wrong. She did a shorts series, or she's doing a shorts series on the, what is it called? Encanto. It's like a telenovela of the rats in the walls and Dolores like listening during breakfast time every morning to like what happens next. And it's so funny. Like the drama that ensues with these rats. Actually, we're gonna stop there because that I think is enough for our second video. Thanks for tuning in to our Encanto breakdown and chat. Hopefully piecing out some mental health pieces in this. And yeah, if you want to learn more about mental health, if you want to stay with us on the journey, you can like and subscribe and all those fun things so that YouTube knows to put it in people's feeds and all that fun. So thanks for sticking around and hopefully see you soon for video 3.
Can you hear the sound?